pick in the NBA draft.
I know I'm ready for this moment. It's just about going out there and making the most of it.
Double OT, we going for the trophy. See us courtside and kick it by the nosebleeds. Everybody knows me.
Every year I watch the draft and seeing the number one guy go by, I wanted to be in that person's shoes.
I put a word.
Oh my goodness! Oh, that's pretty. A human highlight reel.
7 on the team, put the team on my back. And we living out our dreams, yeah. We don't do complain.
He's Jalen Rose. I'm David Jacoby. We are Jalen Jacoby. What exactly is it that we do?
Give the people what they want.
Aaron Rodgers had some choice words for the Green Bay Packers organization. We will play that for you soon, but we start with tonight's festivities, 8 p.m. on ABC.
I'm excited.
Your Detroit Pistons have the number one pick in the NBA draft. The consensus number one pick seems to be Cade Cunningham. Jalen Rose at 8 p.m. on ABC. Will your Pistons change their franchise by picking Cade Cunningham?
Detroit, stand up. 313. It's our turn. You just saw me and Bart Scott walk through the hallway. There's a level of enthusiasm that we got the number one.
There is.
And there's a consensus player. His name is Cade Cunningham. He has the maturity. He's clutch. He's going to be a terrific teammate and a go-to guy, a face of the franchise caliber player, David Jacoby. So yes, I'm enthusiastic. That's why I needed a wheatgrass shot, because this is going to be a long, enthusiastic day.
He's such a great NBA prospect. He can score at all levels. He can create for teammates. He can defend. He's long. He's a prototype NBA wing. He's got a mid-range shot. He's got a three-point shot. He finished at the rim. High free throw percentage. I love everything about Cade Cunningham. Everything about Cade Cunningham. But Mr. Rose,
What up, though?
he's not the only exciting draft.
No.
He's not the only exciting prospect.
No.
Could you see the Pistons maybe trading back and getting an Evan Mobley or a Jalen Green or a Suggs or a Kuminga? Do you think they will keep their number one pick and pick
It's your
Cade?
professional duties to keep working them phones like this. You working the phone, you hearing other teams calling you, like Drew Holiday went for how many picks? Like Paul George went for how many picks? So you listening to see what's out there.
One thing that's great about the Pistons is sometimes you can draft for need, and they need everybody. They need every position. They need every single position, and Cade does fit into what they do. They drafted a couple guards last year. Cade's a wing. They've got Jeremy Grant up front. I love this. I love this for the Pistons. They need something like this, because let's be honest, they've been the 8th seed a couple times, but they haven't really threatened in the playoffs for decades.
Well, here's the thing about the Pistons. There aren't many organizations in the history of the NBA to have 3 championships. I know that may not sound like a lot when you're a Laker or a Celtics fan, or when you got a chance to watch the Bulls have Michael Jordan or Tim Duncan and Kobe Bryant, but then it's kind of everybody else, right? And we had a period in the time in the 80s where we went to the Eastern Conference Finals 5 times in a row. We won 2 championships with the Bad Boys. Bad Boys 2, mid-2000s. Eastern Conference Finals, 6 times in a row, 1 championship.
You're just talking about old stuff now. You're just talking about old stuff now. You're just talking about old stuff now.
This is going to resurrect Detroit basketball. Killian Hayes.
On this day, I said that anybody that didn't draft LaMelo Ball would regret it. There are a couple players, like Evan Mobley, for example, from UFC. He is an athletic big. He can be a rim runner. He can be a shot blocker, rim protector. Do you think maybe down the line your Pistons will regret passing up on someone like Mobley or someone like Jalen Green?
When I look in the mirror, and Cade Cunningham moves to me like Jason Tatum, but when I look at this young fella right here, moves like Chris Bosh. You know,
Looks
I
like
played
Chris
with him
Bosh.
young in his career, right?
Yep.
Shot that 3 ball, block shots, can guard out on the perimeter.
This is
change ends of the floor. And make plays in transition. And this guy is just a freak athlete, Jalen Green.
I love Jalen Green.
Like, seriously, he's box office. Like, Houston, in my opinion, is going to take him number 2. He's going to be a showstopper for them.
Well,
so there's some great players, some great potential, some great picks that are going into tonight's draft, Jacoby. That's why I'm so excited.
I'm excited too.
And I just
it's not just the picks on draft night, it's also the trades. And one team that is pretty obviously looking for a big trade is the Philadelphia 76ers, and it's around Ben Simmons. And here's what your Countdown Crew co-member, Adrian Wojnarowski, had to say about that.
The Ben Simmons trade talks are really, they're going to be a storyline through this draft tomorrow night, and the Sixers have been canvassing around the league, and they are asking for a massive return for Ben Simmons. One GM described it to me as Harden-esque, similar to what Houston wanted in the talks that led to them trading Harden to Brooklyn.
I love Ben Simmons as an NBA basketball player. I'm a Ben Simmons supporter. I will accept no Ben Simmons slander. It seems like if I was another team, I would be very aggressive in trying to acquire Ben Simmons because it seems like you can buy low right now on Simmons.
Whoever gets Ben Simmons, you're going to get an all-star player, potential all-NBA performer, an all-league defender.
Potential defensive player of the year.
6'10". He's going to be a triple-double threat. Soon as his area code changes, fam.
Yep.
He gonna stop passing from underneath the rim soon as he leaves Philadelphia. His confidence is gonna be sky high when somebody brings him into the room and they tell him all of the great things that he has done and can do in the league. Now, for the actual report, and shout to my brother Woj, here's the thing. There's no surprise in theory that he's gonna be in play as it relates to trades, in particular around the draft. But I want to ask you a really important question. If they want a Harden-esque return.
Harden-esque?
Yeah. Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
What did Houston get for Harden again?
A bunch of picks and Victor Oladipo.
Correct. And how'd that work out?
Not good.
Okay.
Not good.
Hey, you want a player.
Yes, and the only
in return.
See, this is the point because everybody talks about Ben Simmons leaving. All right, so like, what all-star caliber players are really in play for a trade for Simmons? Beal, maybe CJ, maybe Dame. The list is not long when you talk about a Harden-esque return.
Well, that's where it gets tricky because you ain't putting Beal and CJ in the same category necessarily right now as Dame.
No,
but you got to give me a player in return. You ready for this? That's also under contract. See, the other thing about Victor Oladipo, he wasn't under contract, and then he went to the Heat. They tried to roll the dice on him, and he got injured. And so it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, but Philadelphia will be getting a player in return, in my opinion, to do this deal if they're going to move Ben Simmons.
We'll see tonight if Ben Simmons does get moved. He seems to be a little unhappy with his current franchise, and Aaron Rodgers seems really unhappy with his current franchise. He spoke to the media yesterday, and here is what Aaron Rodgers had to say.
And I think we can all understand, Green Bay isn't a huge vacation destination. People are coming here to play with me, to play with our team, and knowing that they can win a championship here. And the fact that I haven't been used in those discussions was one I wanted to change moving forward. And I felt like based on my years, the way I can still play, that should be a natural part of the conversation. As that progressed from that point, nothing really changed on that front. So we got into March, and the conversation changed. As I felt like if you can't commit to me past 2021, and I'm not a part of recruiting process and for agency, if I'm not a part of the future, then instead of letting me be a lame duck quarterback, if you want to make a change and move forward, then go ahead and do it. That obviously didn't happen.
He said, I've been here 16 years, played for 13. Can you please just have me be part of the conversation when it comes to the roster? That's all he asked for.
Well, the major thing that jumped out for me is that he said in March they threw money at the problem, but we didn't start acknowledging that until July. So that's major for me. And here's why. That tells me the entire time as Aaron Rodgers was vacationing and we were showing him the pictures and stuff like that, he was doing what ultimately ended up happening, negotiating his way out of Green Bay and playing one final season. It wasn't about missing games. Remember, we talked about when the NFL schedule came out, will he be there for this week or be there for that week? It was not about any of that. They're going to bring back Randall Cobb. That was one of his security blankets, one of the veterans that he mentioned that they let go. that he felt like it happened unceremoniously. He mentioned my brother Charles Woodson as well, who he won a Super Bowl with. And so, again, it doesn't matter what type of relationship you're in, professionally or business. As you gain experience and you become one of the best at what you do, that provides you a level of autonomy that you hope turns into respect for your opinion and for your skills, to not only produce for yourself, but also to manage the personalities around you and give input of what's actually like that you feel like it's going to drive the dynamic to bring another Super Bowl to Green Bay. And so it's better late than never for them, but I like that there's going to be a sense of urgency for everybody involved this year.
Do you know what that press conference said to me? He's gone. He's gone. They could go undefeated and win the Super Bowl. He's still not in a Packers uniform next year.
Correct.
He is gone after this season. That is what that press conference said to me.
You know what this reminds me of? Like more recent, when we seen like an elite player, an MVP level player leave their team that we thought that they had a good situation. Kevin Durant. Like, just imagine, he wouldn't play with the Splash Brothers in a 73-win team, won back-to-back finals MVPs and championships, and then left. Mm-hmm. That's incredible that Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, like KD, are going to be free agents at this point of their careers.
Good for them. I look forward to seeing Aaron Rodgers in a different uniform. You know who else looks forward to leaving Green Bay? Aaron Rodgers does. He mentioned it's not a vacation destination.
I need a vacation.
Oh, no. That's your whole fan base lives there. Your whole fan base lives there, Aaron Rodgers. He's got the Packers logo on his chest, the Packers logo on his head, but he's not going to be on the Packers next year. He is not committed to that franchise. When we come back, Jalen Rose, there's some bad news in Dallas.
Not bad meaning
Dak
bad?
Prescott. Bad meaning
good?
bad. No, bad meaning bad. Dak Prescott, little shoulder injury. We'll discuss that and much more right after this. Coming to you live from the South Street Seaport District of Manhattan and brought to you by Chase. Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby, Jalen Anthony Rose.
What up, Doe?
We have some bad news for Cowboys fans. Dak Prescott, fresh off an injury last season, has been in training camp just a few days, already has a shoulder problem. This isn't that serious, Jalen, but big picture, when you look at their depth chart, they don't have a lot of backup options. Like Ben DiNucci might be out there again for the Cowboys. How concerned should Cowboys and Cowboys fans be about Dak's health?
I ain't worried about nothing.
You're not worried about nothing.
I ain't worried about nothing.
Not worried about nothing. He's been playing for like 3 days and has a shoulder problem.
Because early in his career, Jacoby, the man was extremely durable before last year's injury. And it's funny to hear you talk about them not having a good backup quarterback situation when going into last season, it was being said that they had the best backup in the league.
They had Dalton.
Correct. And what had happened was
Red Rifle didn't really fire off that great.
Exactly. I like what you did there. So I'm not worried about it. You know what? I want to just make sure that happens for Dakota Prescott that'll make me happy.
What's that?
Have his offensive line intact. Have Ezekiel Elliott breaking tackles and not fumbling the ball. That's all I'm worried about. The receivers, I ain't worried about them on the outside. They got burners out there and playmakers.
We will see.
This is going to be an exciting year for Cowboy fans.
Absolutely. It's going to be explosive one way or the other, but it's going to be explosive. And hopefully they can win their division, which is trash. Reggie Bush. After the name, image, and likeness rules were changed in the NCAA, there was some discussion about whether or not he would get his Heisman Trophy back. Turns out, NCAA said, not going to be able to do it, Mr. Bush. Your Heisman Trophy is not your Heisman Trophy. What do you think about this development in the NCAA?
I hate leaving people out and trying to do lists really fast.
Don't do it, Jay. Don't. Just don't. Just don't
as
do
a
it.
Historian of sports, as a Burt Sugar of sports. But I'm just trying to think like the most electrifying running backs that play college football. You know, O.J. Simpson, Bo Jackson, Reggie Bush is in that conversation, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm not overhyping this. Now,
No.
I saw that, right?
Yes.
I saw him on the sideline take the ball behind his back one time.
Yes.
Right? Did I see that? He was an incredible collegiate player and obviously balled in the league and won the Super Bowl and all of that good stuff. I'm not surprised they're not giving the Heisman
No, me
back.
neither. Me neither.
And you know, I've been there, done that as a member of the Fab Five. And I don't now anticipate that when you watch the NCAA tournament and it's one shining moment, you ain't gonna see that highlight.
No.
They act like we didn't exist.
No,
and the
never
haters gonna
happened.
say, well, y'all didn't win the championship. Well, 98% of the people they showed didn't win the championship. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's the numbers and it's the records. Oh, that's old school Chevy right there. It's the numbers and it's the records, right? They may not restore the numbers, but they 1,000,000% as a university will restore the legacy. That's the most important thing, to continue to build as a program. And so I look forward to when that day happens, when the Fab Five is standing at half court being saluted for the things that it brought to the University of Michigan.
We need a statue. We need a statue in Ann Arbor. We need a statue in Ann Arbor. You know what? Let's just build it with your money. I'll take your money and I'm going to build a statue. We'll just put it out there in the middle of campus.
Hey, I hate to tell you something. If you put together Sewell money and Jawan money, you know, we can affect the GSP? The GDP. The GDP. We can affect the GDP. You put their bread together.
Jalen, he's in Anaheim, and even when people aren't paying attention, we'll always celebrate Shohei Ohtani in this show. Show me some Shohei. He just did it again last night.
Show me.
Hit his 37th home run of the season. 37th home run of the season. 20 home runs in his last 34 games.
Can I just salute lefties?
No.
Because it's a right-handed world. Every place you go, the pen is on the right-hand side, the desk is on the right-hand side. Lefties try to get converted into righties. You guys are the dominant beings. Look at the number one guy up there. Barry Bonds, lefty. Look at David Ortiz, lefty. Look at Shohei Ohtani, lefty. I'm trying to take Ken Griffey Jr. Like, when a lefty has an amazing swing, there's nothing more beautiful in nothing. You can fight me all you want on this. I remember Ichiro, his swing was so compact, right? But he was more of a slap hitter, like a Tony Gwynn. This guy's
slapping
power
400 yards.
hitter, dog.
400 feet.
And throwing 100 miles an hour.
I love Shohei. Jalen, it is time
Incredible.
for Soft Mover Boss.
I can't believe him.
Kanye West had a listening party at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta where he played his new album, Donda. He's finishing the album while renting a room at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Jalen Rose, Soft Mover Boss Move, renting a room at a stadium, living in the stadium while finishing your album.
Boss move.
Soft move.
Boss move. When artists start getting into their album mode, they do eclectic things to stay locked in. So whether it's in a studio, it doesn't matter. And by the way, you know what else he's doing?
Comforter looks nice.
Marketing and promotions 101. That's also what this
This is a stunt. This is a stunt. Dog. First of all, I heard it costs like a lot of money for him to do this.
$1 million a day.
That can't be true. That cannot be true. But still, get yourself a suite at the Four Seasons, my guy. Like, yo, come on, get yourself a nice little hotel, a soaking tub, a little view of the city. Relax, enjoy yourself, Kanye West. You're rich, dog. You're rich.
We just saw
Should be
Drake.
living like me in my freshman dorm.
We just saw Drake rent out Dodger Stadium for an amazing brunch, right? This is Kanye renting out the Mercedes-Benz Stadium to get ready for Donda.
Well, we will see. We will also see what happens tonight.
And
The
Westside
NBA
Gunn on
draft
there,
is
Jay on
tonight
there.
at 8 p.m. And Jalen Rose has some advice for some of the draftees. One piece of advice: don't wear a red suit with pinstripes. Kobe, Jalen Rose. We all know about the big names: Mobley, Cunningham, Green, Suggs. Who are some of the mid to late round, first round sleepers that will be impactful in the league?
So he played at Virginia. He's from Durham, North Carolina. He's 6'9". His name is Trey Murphy III. In the era of positionless basketball, he's going to be able to guard multiple positions. You just seen him hanging on the rim with two hands.
Yep.
He's a terrific offensive weapon as well. 50 plus from the floor, 40 plus from three, 90 plus from the free throw line. That's my sleeper.
Mine is Chris Duarte from Oregon. He's old. He's going to be 24 when he gets drafted, which a lot of players are in their fourth or fifth year in the league at that age. But dude can shoot. He can finish with both hands, and he can just shoot from distance, which is always going to be a valuable asset in the NBA. If you look at his percentages, he hits from deep, and that is going to be great for the New York Knicks when he gets drafted and plays the MSG next year. Jalen, you had a famous draft night. What advice do you have for these young men as they enter the league?
Embrace, enjoy, lead with love, and also know from now you're going to go from being a member of the family or one of the friends to a leader, a boss. And a lot of those people are going to be your staff members. So I'll leave you with a math equation because money's involved. People are going to come into your life for 4 reasons: to add, subtract, multiply, or divide.